I wonder how many people realize there's like an amazing bike destination just sitting here forgotten in the woods.
The more we are looking around, the more we found.
It's like searching for gold. Just our gold is trails.
Visiting Norway to ride was always going to be special. But getting to know the story of Nesbyen in Hallingdal really opened my eyes to how opening up old, forgotten paths can create a new energy for locals and bring others here to ride.
If you build a whole trail from scratch, it's an insane amount of work by hand. And then the fact that we have these, which are already the hardest work existing, there's so many that if it is no good, we can just go and have a look for another one. Yeah, we're spoiled with that, really.
Nesbyen is like many places in Norway, old timber towns. They used horses to pull down all the logs.
Train of timber could be 60, 70 or 80 meters long. And that was important because the roads for transporting timber were made in curves, like brakes.
These logging paths were built with corners to control the speed of logs on the way down the mountain. Who knew they would have a use decades later?
Shall we just continue on then?
Yep. To show me around, I have Will, a British architect who has settled in Nesbyen.
The old logging paths are built with quite nice long turns and quite nice gradients, so they're pretty ideal for bikes.
When he's not working as a mountain bike guide, he's out searching for new paths to reopen with local riders. So of course, we had to try out some of the classics.
Oh, no.
Like a beast.
No.
Our hillsides are so steep that they gathered the logs in heaps on the top. Then they transported the logs down to the river because the long way for transport was carried out on rivers.
Yeah.
And that's a good road. I can drive it. I've ridden up that. And there we do zigzag. Really often the ground is pretty good and pretty ready to ride, apart from a few rocks that have rolled in. It's often just a case of clearing falling trees. There's lots of little ones start growing on them. It's almost as simple as that if it's in good condition.
Maps are available which reveal the traces of these paths on the mountainsides, ready to be checked out for their potential to open up as a new trail to add to the network.
On the map now, the regular map, it looks like nothing there. It's just a tractor road up here. And you can turn on this laser scan map, and suddenly you have maybe 4 or 5 old logging paths. And there's a good long solid line on the laser map. So we'll go see what it looks like in real life. And then I guess the next step after that is you can basically click a pin anywhere you want, and then you can get the document for who owns it. There you go, just go ask them. I know in other countries it's so difficult to find that information out sometimes. In here, it's so simple. And try and hook into this one instead. And we found this one, and it looks so good in real life. I've not really looked where it goes on the map. What do you see? Because it looks super good.
Pretty promising on the map, though. The hard work has already been done by horses and men some 100 years ago.
When did you first come to Nesbyen?
2020, right when COVID hit, actually. We were like straight in lockdown. We lived in another spot in Norway before in Hardangerfjord. started the guiding company over there, me and my girlfriend. The short version is we struggled a lot, I think, because it was quite remote and really wet, and steep and technical. We had been here a couple of times just visiting for race and the festival and stuff. I think I worked here for like a month just helping building trails for Trailhead. They're the ones that have set up a lot here. So we just spoke to them a bit and said like, we're thinking of moving, what would be welcome here? Because we kind of did the same thing at the same time, guiding and stuff. And they very much had and still have the attitude of the more people move here, the better it is for the bigger picture, and they were really welcoming.
I'm living in Nesbyen. I'm running a company called Trailhead Nesbyen. I moved to Nesbyen in 2008, so I just started walking around in the woods, trying to find some trails, and yeah, I definitely find some gold. But most of it was kind of overgrown, so I just started to clear them and ride them and take some of my friends in Oslo to come and ride. And seeing what's here now, it's just kind of unbelievable. It's been one of the best long spots in Norway. It's cool.
This trail, I saw it on the map, was just sitting back home after a days of riding. I'm raised in Nesbyen. I biked since I was maybe 10 years old. Back then, there wasn't any focus on trails at all, so it was just us biking in mostly the city center. Seeing a growing community of bikers, both young and older, is so good for me to see, because it wasn't like this when I grew up.
Seeing the energy that's growing around mountain biking in Nesbyen is so cool, and you can see why. The local bike park, founded on logging paths, has some really fun trails, and more people trying it out and getting involved.
Building a path from absolutely nothing is a lot of work to dig, and I find it really cool to reuse what's already there, because it's probably not that long before they are starting to just be really lost. I think something pretty great about here is the trailhead is the town. So you think of trail centers, they're often forestry places where they've built a bunch of facilities. Here there's lots of trails which pretty much arrive in town. And people use the town. I mean, that's the point in the end of the day. In the economic side of it is everybody's using this place, and also just creates a nice feel if everyone's here.
At the end of my stay in Hallingdal, we've ridden some amazing trails in beautiful forests and mountains, met the super friendly locals, and got to know a side of Nesbyen that I wasn't really expecting. Logging paths from a decades-old timber industry, creating so many new opportunities today.